Good afternoon. How is everybody? We are at the David Crockett Spring and Brewer Park, which is located here in historic downtown Crockett, Texas. And it is a monument here that has 6 flags over Texas. And as everybody knows, Texas was under 6 different nations at one point in time. So it looks like it's just an open park here where people can come visit, picnic, and whatnot. But it also has a very unique old cabin that was built in 1850, located back there, and we're going to take a full tour around it. So it's one of the oldest structures here in this city. In fact, in the state of Texas also, it's still one of the oldest buildings that's still remaining intact today. Okay, we're here at the very old log cabin. So this cabin is more than just vintage and antique. It is estimated to have been built around the year 1850, and it's called the Strode Pritchett log cabin. Okay, so this cabin looks like it's a 1-bedroom, just a 1-bedroom building. It's called the Strode Pritchett log cabin. It's constructed on the Jeremiah Strode League, 12 miles east. Is believed to have been built in the 1850s by B.R. Wallace, Strode's son-in-law and a Texas legislator, or by Wallace's cousin W.W. Wallace. Later editions covered the cabin, and by 1950, when the land was sold to W.S. and Fanine Pritchett, no traces were visible. Used for hay storage until 1973, when it was exposed. The cabin was given to the Houston County Historical Commission, who had it moved here and restored as part of the American Bicentennial and annual county birthday activities. And it says 1982 at the very bottom when this plaque was incepted. So it's a very tiny cabin, but I guess this is how they lived back then. Made entirely out of wood. Looks like it's been preserved over the years. Okay, now we're getting a side view of this antique cabin that was built in the 1850s. It's amazing that it's still standing today. Okay, here's an amazing backside rear view of this very old cabin that was built in the 1850s. And of course there's a few pieces of material that have been added onto it to keep it sturdy over the years. But it's been raining really hard here lately, so it's very cloudy today. Okay, now we're looking at the backside of this very old 1850s log cabin that's here in Crockett, Texas. And we're looking at this really large chimney here. It's built out of stone. Okay, so we're getting another view of this really old chimney built in the 1850s on the side of this log cabin. So all of you have to remember that the Alamo was built in the 1820s, if I'm not mistaken, in the late 1820s. This cabin here came along in 1850, which was not much longer after that. And this has been here now for about 175 years, which is a really fascinating and unique piece of Texas history. Okay, so I really hope all of you enjoyed this really great view and outer tour of this very antique 1850s Strode Pritchett log cabin built by a man named Wallace, 1850s. Here's another view of the landscape that surrounds the cabin. Okay everyone, I hope you really enjoyed the view here today at the David Crockett Spring and Brewer Park. And this is one of the oldest building structures that still exists, and it's remaining in the state of Texas today. 1850s. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and I will have many more wonderful historic videos of this significance like this in the future.